And we're live.
Live.
Da 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 da. It's GloucesterCast 370. We're at a round number.
Wow.
We're getting closer. Thanks for everybody for checking in with us. I want to say right off the bat, thank you to Mom's Kitchen for providing food for the guests. I want to also say that the word of the day from last week, 40 minutes from now is when that contest goes live. You can't say it right now in the comments. 40 minutes from now, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. You had to have listened last week. And during the podcast this week, we'll tell you what the word of the day is next week for a prize. So I am going to transition over to our friends. Now you guys are on camera.
Whoa!
And we're gonna do introductions.
Good morning, Gloucester. Ralphie D here.
Good morning, Gloucester. Jeff Surratt.
Kathy McCarthy.
Good morning, Gloucester. Chris McCarthy, no relation to Kathy. And Merry Christmas, Joe.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you didn't mention my birthday this week, though.
It's not your birthday.
It was last week.
Is that what we're going with this now?
What? It's God's birthday.
It was the last 49 weeks.
It's been 49 weeks.
Hey, good morning, Jim over here, off camera.
Jimmy Dalpiaz. Pat is on
the keyboard.
And
Keyboard, listen, we're like a band.
That's the only band I'll ever be in.
Good morning, Gloucester.
and Kim is with us as well. I'm your host, Joey Shimataro. Got a bunch of great topics. I like it. We're Kathy, have you been on before?
I have.
You've been on for a Rocky Neck event.
Usually
Rocky
with
Neck
Stephanie
stuff.
and Lisa.
So we don't no podcast virgins, but I consider this inner circle right here. So I like it when we have inner circle and we don't have to. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to alienate anybody.
You just did, Joe. It's a little too late for that.
No, but it's nice when we can just riff and have fun. And we don't have to pimp something for 30 minutes of pimping that really only needed 5 minutes of. What just happened?
Excuse me.
Did you have a little gas problem?
A little band
Is the blue thing lit up, Chris?
Oh yeah.
All right, nice.
Yeah,
Way to
that's
go.
lit.
And
All
so
right.
is Chris. Yeah.
So I want to say, sorry, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut to the Mom's Kitchen slideshow of the food that they provided
Oh
for
my
us
God, it was
this week.
delicious today.
Transition
We had
into
the
that.
steak.
Next level. I mean, this
Yeah.
breakfast was
Awesome,
next
awesome.
This
level.
breakfast was amazing.
It was next level.
The
Oh, I gotta bring in the
muffins are-
Steak omelets.
Out of this
steak
world.
omelets.
It was so good.
So can we-
French toast.
Pat, when again are they opening?
They have changed their schedule for next week. They're gonna open only for breakfast from 5 a.m. to noon, I believe until the 21st or 22nd when they close,
Okay.
in order to do the move. They
The new-
decided
the
they
new
were
place.
only
I
gonna
can't
be
wait for
doing
the new place
breakfast.
to open.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, they
Next week.
above and beyond. So just breakfast this week, Pat.
Correct.
What's the closing date?
Well, the last day is the 21st, and then the 22nd they'll be closed. That's how I understand it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Pat.
And they'll be moving into their new space.
The new-
Right across the
new
street.
Gigs.
If you don't know where Mom's Kitchen is, currently right across from the Chamber of Commerce down in Fort Square.
Awesome location.
We got
Yeah.
that going for us. All right. Thank you to Moms. We love
Yeah,
those people.
thank you, Eleanor. Thanks, Dave.
Awesome people. All right. And we're back with our guests.
are?
Yeah, so I have some exciting.
Hi, Mom.
Jimmy and I have been going crazy. So next week, hopefully next week, and I have to do a shout out to Ken Lawrence from the Podcore Nerdcast, who helped us out. He lent us some audio equipment to make. So Jim and I did some testing. We're each going to have our own mics. Hopefully next
Oh
week.
my gosh, that's amazing.
The
Just
audio,
what Chris and I need.
the au-
a bigger form.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys aren't loud enough.
We're not loud enough.
the audio quality should go up substantially,
Wow.
and it was a big time investment. But thanks to Ken Lawrence, who kind of guided us along with
What
the
to get,
type of
right.
equipment that we
Yeah,
needed.
what
We
to
have
get.
mic stand. Everybody's gonna have their own mic stand, their own microphone, XLR
Which
cables.
means we'll hear all of Chris's bodily sounds much more clearer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Phew.
Chris, that was a cue.
Some people tell us we make that stuff up, and now they'll know about it.
They'll
They'll know it's
Now
real.
they'll know.
They'll know what mic it's coming from.
Kathy McCarthy's here with Jeff Surratt. who kind of is the founders of the Rocky Neck Plunge, and we're guessing at 14 years now.
14, 15, and I am
Minimum,
here
yeah.
pimping something.
Yes,
I am pimping
but we're
my
not,
swim.
but you're fun,
Yeah.
and we're not going
It
to go
doesn't
on.
cost you anything.
We're not going to go on for 40 minutes about it.
Oh no, absolutely not.
It does
No.
cost you
No,
something.
but
So this is we
Oh, yeah.
we think it's our 14th or 15th year. We're not sure, and it's a great event for everybody. And there's anybody and everybody comes. This year's 11 a.m. We change the time every year because people ask me, why do you change the time? We have to change the time because of the tide. We also ask everybody. We partner up with the Open Door. I realized years ago I had a captive audience there, and I wanted to do something to give back, and I wanted Rocky Neck to give back, to do something, and I thought it was a great event. So this is the Open Doors kickoff for the season also. So they bring their van. I harass everybody to bring food and money and checks, and then it's just a great little event that you go in, you dunk, you swim actually, and you start the new year off.
Jeff,
Yes.
I want you to, because we had this conversation, tell people what we will do to them if they don't. Tell them the rules.
Okay, the rules are you have to go under the water, head all complete. And if you don't, Joey in the crowd will call you a loser, and you can't publicly say that you did the plunge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we typically do a dive and do 5 strokes.
5
Oh,
strokes.
wow.
There you go.
And there you go.
We'll publicly shame you if you don't.
Publicly shame.
Oh, we have in the past. We've taken screenshots from the video and put big red arrows over the people that running up to their ankles and run out and cheat and high five other people acting like they did it, because that does not count.
Wait,
You
people
can wear anything you want too.
Oh yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
encourage, because you guys went as Elvis last year.
Elvis last year, and you guys went as
Idiots.
Yeah.
wrestlers.
Chippendale dances.
Chippendale dance.
So we were discussing.
Chippendale
Were you
dances.
Chippendale dancers?
Yes.
You
Those
did.
weren't wrestling outfits.
More like,
I wonder what
it was
they
more,
were.
Chris, it was more like Chunkendale, not Chippendale.
Cashew uniforms.
I think we had the wrong Disney characters on that one. There was Goofy. I think Pluto showed up. On one.
And I didn't do 5 strokes last year. I just had one major one. That was, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. And this is why we have the cucumber. We're going to demonstrate later.
Yeah.
So we also I really encourage everybody to just, when you're shopping the next well actually it's 2 weeks and a half until we're there, to bring food, to bring the non-perishables and stuff, because it's so important for us as a community to give back to anybody who needs that extra help,
Yeah.
whenever.
And this is an example of something
Not to bring.
perishable.
That
Not
you
Yes.
don't bring.
You don't bring perishable,
Yeah.
because this is what happens.
Yeah.
Joe grows many perishable items here in the office. This is one example.
That's a science experiment.
this week.
I'm not growing. That's just,
Yeah.
I'm going to see how long it takes
Trying
to
to
get
make a
moldy.
non-pickle pickle.
But I would like to say this.
Say it.
Sometimes on New Year's Eve, people may imbibe and just, get up late and are rushing around. Checks are definitely acceptable or cash are acceptable forms of giving
Sure.
for the Open Door, because sometimes we're running late and
Absolutely.
So yeah, the checks, we have a little Sarah Grove brings a little box, the truck's there, and there's like a kind of like a little bank thing that you can, checks are made out to the Open Door.
Yeah.
The cash, we take everything that they need.
Did you have like a little like a lucite box or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the
it's
money
a little
goes in.
little box, you
Yeah.
can bring it in there, and actually, I always tell everybody, drink a lot of water the night before. There's no excuses because it's 11 o'clock. You can get there.
Yeah.
We also encourage, because it's really rocky, to bring your
Water
like
shoes.
water shoes.
Water shoes,
Yeah.
Water shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have we go over this probably 3 to 4 times a year, but I have a set of helpful hints. What the pros do? Pros bring towels or blankets to put down underneath their feet, and who's the guy that does the speech, the poem?
Oh, George Sibley.
George Sibley does the poem. There's no requirement for you to get undressed until he's done the thing. You don't have to sit there in your skivvies
Yeah.
for an hour before the thing. You can wear layers and disrobe just right when he does the thing. Jump in. We're not going to hold that against you. So you really only need to be exposed to the elements for
Right.
a minute or two.
Yes.
So it's funny. I torture George every year. I always say, "Are you going to saunter in at the last minute because everybody's waiting for you?" One year, he actually was flying back, and I was nervous because George prepares this great little speech. I'm like, quick, no 2 hour,
Right.
whatever. We got to do it. So I was with George last night, and I'm like, oh, we got to get it going. But yeah, there's absolutely no need because George gets up and does a speech. To actually disrobe because we're pretty tight on time. Like we make sure we dunk. We start the process at 11, and we're in the water by 11:05. We have our entertainment that we have, which we call him TMZ. Tom Zarella. Tom Zarella does our music, and we always love the national anthem played. So every year he plays the national anthem. George does his little speech, and then we count down, and you then dunk or swim or whatever you want to call it.
So I just have a logistic question. Like,
Sure.
So, what is the ideal tide? Like dead low tide?
So I go in
or
between.
medium tide?
I looked it up. I always look. I think low tides at 9 o'clock that morning,
Okay, so
and so I do it a couple hours because I mean, even though there's a beach, there's enough beach. It's still nice to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, you want something to run on.
run
Cause
all
you-
the time.
Room.
And I actually call the police ahead of time to let them know that we're having a little function in case
Yeah.
the
You
rat.
gotta, yeah.
Give them a heads up in case we need some assistance.
What do you call so there's been some controversy in the past.
Sure.
What do you call that beach?
Oh, here we go.
Should I have not brought this up?
No. I've been corrected. It's either Oak Cove or Oaks Cove.
Right, that's
You
what we
know,
call it.
yeah.
Yeah,
and,
we call it Oaks Cove Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever it
Some other
happens to
people
be.
will say it's Stevens Way.
Yeah. But if you're old school Gloucester, when you go down Rocky Neck Ave, when you hit where Bertha's used to be, your house, you take a hard left, and if you just keep walking straight, you're gonna run right into it. And you can't miss the open door van.
And Oaks Cove is on the old maps.
It
as
is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you
Is
look that up.
Is it public or private?
Oh
Oh,
God! Don't.
why? Why would
Okay,
I-
we're gonna stop right there.
I just
No,
wanna
we're
know
gonna stop
if
right
I
there
can
because
get
there's some
naked.
psychotic people.
Can I get naked?
You can get
Oh,
naked.
you can get
yes,
naked.
yeah. We
Sure.
encourage
Yeah,
nakedness.
wear anything you want.
Not for the children.
As long as it's,
Promises,
you know,
promises,
as long as it's not
promises.
a wetsuit or something.
I love it. Well, thank you guys
Well,
for
thank
everything.
you.
Yeah, it's
no,
always
thank
fun.
you. This is
And
great.
everybody
Appreciate
come
it.
and
The more
bring
the merrier.
outfits, bring a ton of food and money, please.
Yeah, and we love it when people dress up. It's always awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fun when people dress up.
Last night was the Middle Street Walk and the Lobster Trap Tree Lighting.
Oh my gosh, that was
Kim
fun.
and Pat were both there. I'm gonna have Kim speak to the Lobster Trap Tree Lighting and Pat speak to the event at Cape Ann Museum.
Well, the lobster trap tree lighting just went off without a hitch. It was beautiful. I don't know if anybody has had a chance to go and see it, but it has beautiful, like white, sparkly lights in the interior now. Every year they change the design up a little bit, and so it looks like when you're inside the lobster trap tree now, it looks like you're looking into a starry constellation all
I
around
saw
you.
that.
Yeah.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah,
Your pictures are great.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. And so I know David would love to give a shout out to all the sponsors. Warren Waugh was really helpful this year.
Once
the-
again, Warren Waugh.
Warren Waugh, the people who, the Three Lanterns who provide the trap.
Skip.
Sean Henry, who's there with David all the time building the lobster trap tree, and all the volunteers who were out there putting buoys up in the lights yesterday in the rain.
And the
So-
kids that painted the buoys.
that painted the buoys, and
Art Haven.
Tracy told me yesterday that it was getting so crowded in the studio with kids painting buoys that she's done a little experiment this year going to the different schools, and she loved it so next year she's going to do more of that, go from school to school because the kids really spend more time painting,
Yeah.
pay more attention to detail,
And you have the teachers to help out
yeah,
corralling the
teachers,
kids and
right,
everything. Yeah.
right. So yeah, so
That's a great thing.
yeah,
Because
oh,
I mean,
it's
just as far as the kid, every kid has access to it.
yeah, every kid in the
Yeah.
community. There's also in addition to the elementary schools, there's the middle school day, also Rockport Day, Manchester, Essex,
Wow.
and then there's also a couple of open days as
Do
well.
you know what the
too.
day of the are they gonna have the buoy auction?
Yes, I don't know.
So this
that
is like
yet.
the biggest fundraiser for
Fundraiser
Art
for
Haven
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
Lobster Trap Tree buoy auction, and
Right.
and there are some frame it. Like I think Ken Knowles and Jeff Weaver usually paint a buoy that go up for auction. So those are.
I can't see you. Where are you?
I'm sorry. I have to leave my volume on, and
Oh, it's okay.
I'm
That's-
sorry, Joe.
That's Chris's mistress is calling
No.
in. They can't
They're
see. He was
trying
trying,
to-
I'm watching
he was
to see
trying to
what it
Trying to
is.
sell me stuff.
he
on
was
this.
trying to Facebook Live.
Did she say, I'm
So,
sorry, I
so,
can't see
so
it?
that was great though. We'll have a press release when they give it to us on the date of the buoy auction. Pat, how was the KPM? Did you do any of the Middle Street walk other than the?
Well, we got there late, and most things were packing up. We didn't realize that they were going to be packing up at about that time. So we did get there a little bit later, but we did stroll the stores downtown and greened up Main Street a little bit while we were waiting for the tree lighting, and then we went up to the Cape Ann Museum for their lighting. What do they call it? Luminaz, something like that. They
Illumination?
projected lights and shapes and colors and onto the side of the museum wall outside, and they had an area in front where the kids were playing, and there was music and kids and parents, and
The kids loved it.
the kids seemed to really enjoy it. Yeah,
It's the
so
same with the lobster trap tree.
right,
Just watching
I
the
noticed
kids-
that.
Just
Yeah.
watching the kids' expressions on their faces.
Yeah.
I want to add
So-
on the lobster. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So let me back to the Rocky Neck plunge. I think Dennis Bryant wants to know if he can park at Jeff's.
Sure.
Of course.
Okay. And Eleanor says hello. Everyone's on break and will live stream at Mom's Kitchen.
Nice.
So they're
Oh,
also
When during break,
She just
she
I'm-
said, read it
I'm
again.
reading what she said.
What'd she say?
Hi, everyone on break currently and will live stream at Mom's Kitchen.
She's on
so
a break.
she's on a break.
She's
Yeah.
on a
Oh,
break
she's
now.
on a break. Hey,
Yeah, so
Eleanor.
they're watching. I
Thank
believe.
you so much. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, that would be
And we're gonna
fantastic.
figure out at the new place. We're gonna figure out if they have a television in the corner. We will figure out how. Like I'll get them a Fire Stick or something, so that they can broadcast the live stream from
Yeah.
while we
Yeah.
tape.
We're gonna
That'd be
rent
cool.
Pat out, and she's gonna figure out how.
We'll have to send that IT crew down there.
Well,
For
Pat,
Makeup.
little people know Pat's just not a pretty face. She was the media person,
multimedia person.
multimedia person at her high school.
Oh, now you tell us. We've been trying to figure these mics out for 4 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I do
Really?
want to add one thing on the lobster trap. One thing I noticed
Just talk about-
with the kids is besides looking at trying to find their their buoy,
Yeah.
and then looking at everything, the Christmas carols when they were all singing, they were handing out Christmas carols, people were singing. But the biggest thing was when the fire truck pulled up,
Yeah. Oh.
and he extended that big boom arm to go put. The kids just thought
They're all
that
like
was
Right.
the hottest thing. That's what it felt like.
About time you did
That's
something.
I'm telling
About
you,
time you got it right, Chris.
it's the
Come on.
best. It's the best. Yeah,
I'm glad your girlfriend got off the phone so we can.
you're doing a good job, Chris. Amy Blake says, "Hey, Rocky Neck friends from the Ice Cream Lady. Merry
Aw.
Christmas."
All right, Amy.
Yeah.
Come back.
Feliz Navidad.
Oh,
Remember Amy's Ice? Amy?
Yeah.
She's in Ohio. She has a
Little
candy store now called Tuckerman's,
Oh.
Tuckerman's.
Well, we gotta have ice
You
cream.
can
on
always
Rocky
have
Neck.
and she has a bulldog too.
another branch.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
do you have a French bulldog too?
We had English.
you had an English one. What kind is
Gwendolyn.
what kind is
Mick-
so
Mick
English
just got-
bulldog and a French bulldog are different in which
Yeah,
ways?
the
in what
English
ways?
is a big fatty, right?
Okay.
Big fatty, and we had Gwendolyn that was always there. We always had bulldogs, and Mick and Suzanne just got a little
So cute.
English. Stanley,
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
wait.
They
Write
brought
it
us
down.
today.
Suzanne, I
They
need
brought-
Stanley.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad we brought that up. I want to just shout out to the Gloucester High School hockey
Yes.
program and the Masconomic hockey program. They had their second annual Brendan Lafada Memorial hockey tournament last night. It was every seat in the house was full.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Nice, excellent.
They
Great.
do this every year, and it's a great turnout. And I love the support. See the support for the family.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun, and Garrett brought the
So Garrett brought the puppy, Stanley, and Stanley is like
a lump. He doesn't do much.
He's like
He's a cuddler.
bag of skin
Yeah.
waiting for the dog to grow into. You know, there's
Yeah.
more rolls
There's
in there
some-
than
yeah.
Benedosi's Bakery.
But because Susan Lipsitz's dogs
She's
are
got
super hyper.
Yeah.
His dog is super hyper. What is your dog like?
Mm.
In between someplace?
No, she's
Is he a biter?
She was. Well, she just passed this
Oh,
month.
I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. I don't.
Jesus,
No,
Joe.
it's fine. Life
Bring
goes
up shit
on.
like this.
She it's she was kind of a presence in Rocky Neck because she really was tortured everybody. So she's a big, English bulldogs.
Yeah.
They're big fatties. They don't do much. They just
So
kind
are
of.
they the kind that go like this?
Yeah, she protected her whole, corner there. She tortured everybody and.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you weren't on the purple bench and you weren't on the inner circle,
she-
were you gonna it was
she
gonna be a
had
problem?
She had to come to the purple bench and have snacks and.
She
She'd
was
have my
made
little.
that she would, if you're on the purple bench, she would want to be on the other side of the fence, and she would sit there with you.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, she had to.
Aw.
Yeah, yeah.
She'd whine if you on the
So
bench
they-
without her.
A few people in Rocky Neck that have Frenchies.
Susan Lipsitt.
Yeah, my friend Denny, Gwendolyn's best friend was Belle. And then Lisa and Dr. John and
Nash.
Lisa behind us have Nash. They're all like hyper.
Yeah.
The Frenchies are like, they're like,
An English bulldog's more like the lazy man's dog. You want to lay around, he'll be happy to just lay around.
Oh, so maybe that's the kind that you get.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not much. So you could kind of just throw some food at it every once in a
Oh, yeah.
while. And it's good.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Do they have the pooping problems like Chris's dog has?
Yes, you have
Right.
wipes and everything. What?
What are you talking about?
His
Well-
dog.
Well, the apple
poops
doesn't
everywhere.
fall far from the tree, obviously.
Yeah, she had to be hosed down. I mean, she had to be cleaned up. They don't clean them.
We need to rewind
Absolutely
for a minute
nothing.
because as Jim just pointed out, we just heard you say, "Oh, that's the kind of dog I should get."
Yes, I heard it.
Oh,
I think
we
we
heard
all heard
We
it.
all heard
It's
that.
everybody knows I'm not going to
breaking,
get a dog.
breaking news.
But if I was going to get a dog, hypothetically speaking, the lazy man's dog would be my kind of dog because
Kate, are you
I,
on board,
Kate, are you
Kate?
Kate would not have. Kate wouldn't have a dog. Kate would have a cat, but she
Do
wouldn't.
you
have a
want to see my pooping video that I made up of Chris yesterday?
We do not.
No.
Well,
we
no.
do not want to see that.
We don't want to see that.
dog. Crazy people in this
Get
thing.
a dog.
So, Chris, why don't you explain your hat and your? Give me your hat for a second.
You got
Well,
your
I-
headphones on.
No,
so
it's
good.
good.
So this is Chris's Secret Santa gift from yours truly.
It was supposed to be a secret, Joe.
I drank today. Very appropriate for him. He can wear this every day of the week, and he would not be telling lies. And I got him the shitty coolers, which is kind of a knockoff on the Yeti coolers gear that people wear.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Did you do? How is it? Because I was nervous about the size.
The
I got-
medium fits perfect.
It does fit perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
doesn't look
it's
like a
perfect.
medium though. It must be missized.
It's a nice color too. I love the color.
I mean, the only thing is we're all supposed to spend 50, and Joe obviously spent about 10.
He didn't even spend 10. Those were given to him. They were promotion.
He probably did
Promotional.
This didn't
Promotional
fit
Promotional
Joe.
materials, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't fit me, so I
Didn't
figured I'd
fit
pass
him.
it on.
And he
Well,
doesn't
now that
drink.
Joe's lost all that weight, 12 pounds, by the way, for all you listeners.
12 pounds in 40 days. Not too shabby.
That's
40
nice.
days and
It's
40
doable.
nights.
Wow.
It's doable.
Wow. If you're
Just a
guy.
little bit of planning.
If you're a guy, if you're a man.
Exactly.
So, Joe, what do you want me to make you for lunch today? Linguine with clams?
I already have the Stop and Shop rib roast that I
Oh,
prepared
that's
this
right.
morning. I Frenched them this morning.
Frenched him.
I stuck
Oh.
the knife in there. I put the garlic,
garlic.
slivers in
Oh,
there.
boy.
And then I put the herbs, salt, pepper, and herbs de Provence around it
Oh.
with the olive oil. And we're going to smoke
3
that.
words that he learned at night school last week. He used in that conversation.
In
Go ahead.
his school.
And I got that, and I got a spiral ham, Corando spiral
They
ham.
were on sale this week, you know.
Who
Were
told
they
you?
on
Who
sale?
told you?
$1.49 a pound.
$1.49 a
You
pound.
know, I follow Joe around Stop and Shop for all the deals.
Oh, we have a new
First timer?
a new Ryan sister on board. Another Ryan sister on board.
Does this one hate me too?
No, she doesn't hate you. No, but she's been here. My sister Judy. Hello, Judy.
Oh, hi, Judy.
Glad
Hi,
you're
Judy.
here.
Judy.
I do.
Nice.
Judy.
We should have all the sisters on sometime.
So you're having a big ham and beef.
For football, we're watching football
Oh, that's
from
right,
1
football.
o'clock until 8 o'clock. We're watching football.
Well, I can't I can't be there at 1 o'clock. I'm visiting my mother today.
Oh, you're a good son.
Well, no, I'm not a good son, but I'm going to visit my mother today because I haven't seen her in a bit, and we're gonna go out for lunch, and but maybe afterwards I'll stop by.
You know you're.
But I'm not gonna. Don't plan on me eating.
Okay.
But I'll stop by to
All
say
right.
hello.
'Cause I would have had to get another roast.
No, we're going to Sue Chang's for lunch today.
Nice.
Change your go-to spot. You go there often.
It's just coincidental.
Chinese food, two days this week.
I know Friday. Well, we had the DM Civil Company
Oh, yeah.
Christmas party on Friday, and Sue Chang's provided the food.
So 3 times.
Do they give you a discount with all the money you spend there? They oughta.
I'll put it this way: we had 80 guys Friday for lunch, right? They brought, and I don't know how to order for 80 people.
No.
So I told him there's 80 people. He said, and the guy Gary, who's the manager there, said I'll take care of it. And he showed up with a van
Oh my god.
of trays, the full-size trays.
Yeah.
And there were like 24 full-size trays of Chinese food, all different types. Yeah. And I have construction workers.
Animals.
They don't eat.
Yeah.
They're like, I said, you can get more. Go up and get more. The plates were overflowing. They couldn't put any more food on. It was like a competition.
breaking.
Who could get the last chicken finger on without it falling off? So these guys ate like animals. And at the end, we still had so much food left. We didn't even open trays. We ended up bringing like 6 full trays, not even open, full trays to the fire department in Middleton for lunch.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's
You
awesome.
got.
Yeah.
Scorpion bowls?
But I'm sorry?
Do they bring scorpion bowls?
No, there's no alcohol. No alcohol at DM Civil Christmas party because all my guys drive company vehicles. But anyway, it was a great time. Sue Chang's did a
Can I tell you
fantastic
my
job.
Sue Chang story?
I'd love to hear your Sue Chang's.
I'm gonna tell you a story about Sue Chang. How she, I offended Sue Chang.
Oh gosh.
No.
It was just no.
Her name's not Chang. It's Sue.
Whatever the fuck
Her
it is.
last name's not Chang.
But the problem, so I went with my daughters, just me and my 2 daughters. We went to Sue Chang's for lunch or dinner, whatever it was. And we sit down, and she's an older woman, right? And I said to her, "Geez, they still have you around here? Like, what are you doing? You don't, they haven't kicked you out of here yet,
Yeah.
Because I figured, as saying this jokingly, like you shouldn't have to work here anymore.
Right.
You've put in your time and stuff like that." She looked at me deadpan, and she says, incredulous, "Why would you say something like that?" I shrunk down.
You may have been better off asking her age or her weight, Joe, than that question.
Was this before you ate?
I
I was
was.
gonna say, how was your food that night?
My daughters were horrified,
They wanted to kill you.
and my daughters are not like they.
What was that?
Not supposed to bang.
And I immediately apologized and explained myself, and she was not having it.
No, that's it. So you're banned.
She was not having it, and I said to my daughters afterwards, I said, you guys know that I was just joking, right? People that know me know my personality and stuff like that.
Note
She's
to
just-
self: don't go to Sue Chang's with Joey.
Yeah, really.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
his
go.
face is on.
But anyways, no, I wanted to. I have to say this because a couple people mentioned to me that the food was a little different at Sue Chang's, and I panicked a little bit because I knew that I had this large party, and I was a little concerned. But the food was fantastic. It was spot on. Feeding that many people, that quantities. They nailed it. It was excellent. Very, very good. So anyway, shout out to Sue Chang's.
There we go. We went Friday night to Beauport.
Mm.
We had a little Secret Santa thing going on, and we got the table. We were lucky, and we got the seat with the nice couches right next to that fireplace.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh, that's nice over there.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a better spot in town on a crappy day to sit. By that fireplace. The fireplace is warm
It is warm.
Yeah.
and cozy
It's so
to just
cozy.
hang out,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
service was outstanding. And I'm going to give a couple.
I think the food there is to die for.
I think the food in the lounge is really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like, man.
Chris is still feeling the effects of the crab.
So they have duck wings.
Yeah, they have duck wings,
Duck
right?
wings, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
those are
they're
outstanding.
so delicious. And another a little insider tip: the fig and prosciutto flatbread.
Ooh, yummy.
Have you-
So
Anything with
Did
prosciutto
you
and
try the lobster
fig.
crab cake?
I didn't.
Oh,
No,
that's
because I figured.
so good.
Yeah, actually, it was.
We're there all the time. Kim, we don't see you. Where are you hiding?
We usually go on Tuesday nights because that's the night when the baby and Alex are
Oh, I see.
out. So we usually go on Tuesday nights.
But
And
back
then-
to the Secret Santa. I want to know who got Chris.
I got Chris.
No, I know who did
Oh,
Chris
who
get?
Chris?
I'm
Who
sorry.
did Chris get?
I got Jenna.
Oh, so they did. Usually in the past, when we had more people, we would do guys only bought for guys and girls bought for girls. We
Remember
did- we
last
could get-
year you got me?
I don't think this is a family show, Ralph. We
I was
can't.
gonna say, what'd you get, Ralph?
Let me
Come
put
on.
it to you this way. I
Peanut-
don't turn red at all. At all.
I got him a penis pump.
Really?
I got him a penis pump.
Is that
Legit.
is that a real
How's it
thing?
working for you?
Legit.
How does it work? I don't.
I thought I was.
you
I,
feel like it's. Oh, really?
I-
Put it on a cake.
I thought it was
works
something you
great
put in
now.
the trunk of the car
Oh my
in case your
gosh.
tire went flat.
Driving around the front seat of his pickup.
It's a suction-based, like a clear tube
All right.
with a plunger,
And you pump it up.
and you put it over.
It's some sort of extraction device.
All
Show.
just
Yeah,
you can use that. Yeah, use this.
Yeah, but it's
So
on
you
a much
get the-
smaller scale.
Where am I? Right here. So you get the thing. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah.
You want me
can
to
see
get it? It's in the car.
Oh yeah.
I leave it in the trunk
has
just in
it.
case my tire gets flat.
Yeah. But I think you need to lubricate that every once in a while so that the seals don't get dried
That
up.
sales on dry
Yeah,
up.
you don't,
That's
yeah.
what-
So the day after the Secret Santa, the trash man must have had a ball because that's where it went. You think I
What?
was keeping that thing in my house?
You could have re-gifted that.
A great regift, right?
Yankee
Shit, I didn't even
swap.
think of that.
So can I
Chris,
say-
as a matter of fact, I have a present for you in the car.
Can I say something about the Beauport? Because when we went on Tuesday night, they had what they usually have on Monday nights. They'd extended it to Tuesday night, and all through the winter, they're going to be having 2 lobsters for $20 on Monday nights.
We don't
Okay.
eat lobster around here.
I don't know how they're going to do that because the price of the lobsters in the winter, usually,
Oh,
they'd actually be losing money probably in another month or so.
They're
But
gonna
that-
get it from China.
So point being,
Yeah.
like, take advantage
Take
of that because that's a
advantage of it.
tremendous deal.
I mean, it was, and the lobsters that I had on Tuesday night, they weren't the dinky ones.
That's incredible.
It was incredible.
That's a
Maybe
good
they
deal.
pumped up.
Your lobsters
I haven't
didn't
seen that.
have
I haven't seen
dinkies?
that advertised.
And I don't think they're advertising it yet. They're not going to do it next week because they have a holiday thing, but then they're going to start it back up.
Because they were like, when we were there the other night, they said you could get a lobster with your entree for $10 extra, and they were just it was the servers that were sharing it with us.
Oh,
Is
right.
that how you?
Right, that's how
Yeah.
we learned about
Wow.
it.
Yeah, I was like,
From
That's
the
a
bartender. We
tremendous.
learned about it
That's a
from the
tremendous
bartender.
value.
Yeah.
Tremendous value.
Kim-
Oh, it was,
Kim's
it was,
talking
it was
about-
cooked perfectly. It was
She's talking about animal sex again. Your lobster didn't have a dinky? Is that what you said?
She said no, they weren't dinky.
Oh, they
weren't.
weren't.
We need a
dinky.
sound effect
I
for
thought
that.
she said because I can't really hear.
Pat,
it.
I don't want you to
I thought they
remind
said she
people
didn't have
again.
dinkies.
No, somebody asked.
I don't, but they
No,
should
I
have
won't
listened
do
in the beginning, so
I
never
won't do it
again.
again.
Rosemary, we want to say hi to Rosemary Cotaro, another Rocky Necker, who's listening in, who says that this is really hysterical. She's enjoying the podcast.
I'm glad to hear.
The
Thanks for your time this morning.
Nantucket Christmas stroll. You guys were there last weekend. How?
That's why we weren't here last week, folks. We were at the
Was it so fun?
Nantucket.
Was it so fun?
Tell me how you got there. Tell
I
me.
can tell you how we got there, but I can't tell you anything after that. So we went down on Thursday evening. We stayed at the Hyannis Inn, correct, Chris?
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
And then we got up Friday morning. We took the ferry over, the fast ferry,
Yes.
which is fantastic. 1 hour.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, let's explain the ferry because some people in the room don't understand the concept of a fast ferry. There are 2 ferries. There's a ferry that takes large vehicles over that goes a lot slower, and then there's just a ferry that takes over people without vehicles and it goes a lot faster, Jim.
Hence the fast
Hence,
ferry.
fast ferry. Fast ferry's 1 hour, slow ferry's 2 hours.
Wait, you're going too fast. I gotta write this down.
So anyway, we took the fast ferry over and we immediately checked into
Got
the
it.
lovely White Elephant,
Correct.
which is a very, very popular place down in Nantucket. And then we got into our cost. For day one was ugly sweater day,
Yes.
which we all had very interesting ugly sweaters. And then the next day,
I saw I can't believe that you could walk into restaurants with a penis sticking out of
it
your
wasn't a
belly button.
penis; it was a
It
carrot.
was a carrot nose.
Oh,
It was a carrot.
on social media, looking at it on a small screen, it looked like you had a
Well,
penis.
when's the last time you saw a bright orange penis, Joe?
It depends on how beat up it is, I guess.
With two,
Depends
with
if
two
your mother gave
blue
you
jingle
toys when
balls
you were
hanging
little.
from
Oh,
below.
God.
Well, you know,
So I have to say, a lot of women were attracted to me, and they were looking. They were looking. My wife knows it. There's no secret. They were looking. They were looking at the carrot. But then there was a. But this was the best part.
Yeah.
Sitting at the table next to us, there was these three old, crotchety old bitches.
Nantuckeyites.
And no, I don't know. They were in plants. But
Yeah, from
Anyway.
Nantucket.
anyway, these three women obviously they don't have much fun in the. They were by themselves. They were this old miserable.
curmudgeons.
Yeah, curmudgeons. Perfect, Joe. And they just kept looking at me and giving me dirty looks. So I just kept putting my carrot on the table. If you're gonna look, I'm gonna give you something to look at. And then our friend Kevin had a few choice words to say to them.
Yeah.
But they would. But a lot of women were like, "Oh, can we take a picture?" And and then Charlene wouldn't leave me alone all
Do
weekend.
you understand this is why Kim looks? Because she got the memo about the carrot.
It was a good sized
So
carrot.
that's why.
I've
she
never
said-
seen a
I'm
carrot
thinking the
that
carrot
big.
could be the
Was
word
the
of the
carrot
week next
more
week.
on the girth side or the length side?
Which
I think it was a combination.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
good.
a combination. Well, I'll put it to you this way: when I sat down, I could put it on the table.
So length. I would go
It-
more
you
length
know.
than girth.
I think he used the pump.
But then we had an issue. There was an issue. Then I had to take the straw because we were in a bar and I had it on the table, and a young gay person, which I'm not going to mention his name, came in and said, "I'll have the buffet."
Yeah.
And that's it. Shirts off, and that was the end of that. So I had to switch Christmas outfits, and then we went.
And
to
he's
the
not kidding.
So what was the reaction? Does everyone get dressed up for this, or just you guys?
No.
When you were
no.
walking around downtown and stuff like
Let
that.
me put it to you this way: everything closes in Nantucket for the winter,
Right.
right? Obviously, because it's just nothing going. It's the
Seasonal.
weather. This weekend opens up. They open up just for the Christmas stroll. They have more people down there this weekend than they do 4th of July.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that the restaurants open. Not all the restaurants, but most of the restaurants open. It's tough getting reservations because there's so many people. It's just the ferries just keep, and literally the streets are wall to wall, elbow to elbow people.
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
And
So-
a lot of people dress up.
A lot of people dress up on Saturday when I guess is the official stroll.
Correct.
And we decided to dress up Sunday. We were the only ones to dress up on Sunday, so we looked a little weird.
We dressed up. Yeah, we dressed up Friday.
Different outfits for 4 straight days.
Right. So Friday was ugly sweater. Saturday the suits. We all had these suits with the top hats. We should have brought pictures. And that's when I had my red velvet shoes with the little gold bow tie. Those were
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Louis Vuitton.
Prada.
Prada.
Oh, there you
Prada.
go.
And then Sunday we dressed up. We wore onesies. We all had the onesies on with the zippers. They're really, really comfortable.
Except me, I wore a Grinch outfit.
Chris was dressed up like the Grinch.
So I got stuck with the women in one of the stores, and the guys left. And I'm trying to find them, so I'm walking downtown by myself trying to find these guys.
Kids are horrified.
I'm dressed in a Grinch outfit. I got Grinch gloves on, furry gloves, and people.
And the
look
beard.
at
Don't
me
forget
like-
you had
and the beard. They're like, "Wow, call the cops. This guy is lost."
Predator. He's a
Take 'em
predator.
in.
It's pretty. It's the first time in my life that I was embarrassed.
But it was an amazing. If you have not done the Christmas stroll, you have to do it at least once in your life.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you got
yeah.
10,000 and you just want to throw away, it's one of the.
Yeah, it's
best.
very, very expensive.
No,
I
it's, just
mean,
one- it's a great place
Well,
to
very-
I know there's a fast ferry.
Spend
I
cash.
don't know why I wouldn't go over.
Is it expensive at the hotels and
yes,
dining?
there isn't anything that isn't.
Right.
The,
there's no
the
charge
best
to
part
just
about
walk,
the
right?
stroll for you ladies out there
Yeah,
is the shopping.
yeah.
Because all these stores want to get rid of their product for this year and make room for next year. So, it's
that's interesting.
50%, 70% off.
Wow.
I'm sure they mark everything up, but there are some really serious sales. We walked into this dress store and there was this custom made dress store.
Yeah.
And there was this black velvet dress that I wanted my wife to wanted my wife to buy, and it was absolutely amazing. All of us made her try it on. It was absolutely breathtaking.
We all made her try it.
We
on.
did, right?
Yeah.
And this dress, believe it or not, this dress was $3,800 black velvet dress. Somewhere we wear to like a wedding on like New Year's Eve.
When your sons get engaged and they get
Right, but they'd have to get married on New Year's Eve or something like that. I mean, something like that. But anyway, it's one of those real tuxedo, black and white. Where do you wear a dress like that? But it was marked down to, it was 70% off. So it was like $1,000 for this dress. It was custom made.
Did you buy it?
You could buy it. No, we didn't buy it. We didn't buy it because she kept saying, I said, buy it. She said, where am I going to wear this? You know, where
The
do you
Rocky
wear
Neck
this?
Swim.
The Rocky Neck Swim, yeah. But anyway, great time. I strongly suggest if you haven't done it, save up your money and do it.
See.
Very cool.
See, Sierra.
Jimmy, you have some. You have an update for Great Marsh Brewery in Essex.
Oh yeah, I finally got to it yesterday. My buddy next door, one of the guys, I go golfing with him. We go to Ralph's Golf Course and a few others. He said, "Hey, I heard they opened. I watched the Good Morning Gloucester preview that
Wow.
you guys did," and he goes, "I gotta go." I said, "Well, okay, let's go." So we went over, and it was. He's getting personal texts.
No, I'm sorry to cut you. Interrupt.
No.
But Mick LaFader's watching.
Oh, God.
Suzanne and Savannah is watching. And Mick just sent me a text and said, Savannah is watching with Suzanne and just learned what a penis pump
We aim for the
And there's
educational.
Sorry,
the educational
Savannah.
portion.
There is.
There's the educational portion.
And that's
Now let's
sex
go
ed
back-
for today.
Yes, and now let's
Back
go
to Jim.
Back to the jump part. Okay. So anyway, went back over and we got there right when it opened, right about noon. It was high tide, that super high tide, and they were all worried inside that it was going to take over the parking lot, and it did.
Oh, wow.
It came right over. It took over a lot of parking spaces, but not for long. I mean, and trust me, people were parking in anyway. They just wanted to get
That's
in.
why they built that up. If you notice the foundation on that place, they built that
Yeah,
foundation.
well, yeah.
Put up the pilings.
So the food was open at that time, but we chose to go right to the bar. And at the bar, we had 2 flights, and then we both
You had 2 fights?
flights.
Oh, I was gonna say, wow, what kind of place is this?
Wait, am I on camera? Okay, there. Now it's back in. 2 flights, and then we both had 2 beers each, and they offered a very limited menu at the bar. So they had a Woodman's
Pop up.
pop-up thing. We both had sausages and peppers, and it was in like this cup, sausage and peppers in a cup. And when you roll over, the mustard was great. And they brought it right up. It was really reasonable price. So what I was saying was 2 flights, 4 beers, 2 of the meals, and with the tip, it was like $65.
In a partridge
So
in a
I haven't been there yet, so explain. Is there a restaurant in the place?
So here's the thing. It's 2 different kind of establishments.
Okay.
The downstairs has a different liquor license than the upstairs.
Is it 2 different owners? Or same owner?
Yeah.
Same owner, but
Different
I think
managers.
different manager. Like the
Okay.
management from Bancroft,
Yeah.
the Bancroft group.
I
forget the name.
They run the restaurant upstairs.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're paying rent to him, or they're getting paid.
Okay, so upstairs is a restaurant and downstairs is a brewery.
Brewery with a pop-up Woodman's limited menu downstairs. You can't bring your beer from downstairs upstairs, and you can't bring your drink from upstairs downstairs.
Now, is upstairs open what time?
4
Four-
o'clock.
So it's a dinner establishment.
Right.
Yeah,
For dinner only.
4 p.m.
I see.
Wednesday through Sunday, I believe.
I saw the sign, and all I knew is when we walked in, it was open at 12 noon.
Yeah.
So it was open for lunch, upstairs and downstairs, and we went right for downstairs to do everything. We didn't go up.
And
But
upstairs,
it was filling up.
Upstairs, I'm assuming reservations are recommended. No liquor?
People walking right up the stairs. were
We're
walking
supposed to
right
go in there and live stream someday soon. Ideally, we're going to get there early afternoon, like at 3. Start live streaming, going into like the 4:30 period, so it's not too busy, and we'll have a little corner of the place. But it has to be when I have a day off, obviously, so I can bring the equipment and we can.
Ralph
live
and
stream.
I can do it.
Yeah, you can run the equipment. I want to give a shout out to Donna. Donna's just getting ready at the Agape Marketplace at Magnolia Library. She just chimed in, so I wanted
Agape, the brew.
the brewery. They're having an event. They're
nice.
shutting down the brewery operations, but they're having a.
Did anybody call in with the with this word?
Kim.
No.
I don't want to fucking say it for the fucking 10th time.
He's very sensitive.
I like the
with
whole
this word
idea
of
is
the
so
day.
people really have to pay attention and know about it, not to remind them.
I
Thank
want to
you.
say
though.
that
I appreciate
Yeah.
I
that.
want to say that I did a lot of the IPAs. I really thought they were really decent. He likes the darker beer, the back end. I know that you guys did 4 flights each,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. But boy, that was that was a lot. It was a lot of beer. Very good, very tasty, good crowd. Really a good fun thing. But I won't lie, parking is limited. It filled right up by the time we were leaving. He told us that they don't get a lot of people coming on game days. A lot of people
Well,
don't
maybe
come
not
down
yet.
to the
Really?
brewery on game days.
Ooh.
Maybe
So
not
he's
yet.
saying that was something that they were hoping to fix.
So they have big TVs and stuff like
Oh, there were some TVs around the area.
Yeah.
Sure.
that. All right, we'll have to check it out. Well, we'll check
I
it
mean,
out.
not
when
the
we do
size
live
of
stream.
trios.
So
but,
Chris's sons went to Minglewood Harborside for. So remember the day that it was like raining sideways?
Yeah.
We get our notification. You get $10 to use here. It was pouring out, and it happened to be wing night. So we went wings. This is insane. This is really crazy. I got 12 wings, 2 beers. So the wings are 50 cents each. 12 wings is $6. 2 Coors Lights were $3.50 a piece. I got my bill. My bill was, after taking off the free $10 that they put on there because I'm a rewards member, my bill came, it was $2.65. I'm not fucking joking. $2.65. I left the girl the $2.65 and the $10 tip, and it was just, and it was great. Talk about a great place to watch a game. Minglewood Harborside's a great place.
I thought he was going to say he left a 52-cent tip.
No, and it was quick. I was there too, Jory. The wings came out fast.
Yeah. Oh my God! It's like and they were great. Yeah.
You would think on that night there's a lot of people were there because it was trivia night too. So a lot of people were starting to come in and claim their stakes on their
That's
trivia
right.
tables.
I see.
My tab was even better because my father-in-law ended up showing up and he paid the tab. So mine was 0, and I got the points. I mean, those are the best
Plus,
Minglewood
plus.
dinners.
If that doesn't have Chris McCarthy written all over it, I don't know what.
So let's. Oh, the post office.
We noticed that we went into the post office this week and noticed that they are holding Sunday hours from now until
Oh.
Christmas. I believe until 2
wow.
p.m.
That's
And I thought
important.
that was
Good to
pretty
know. Okay.
pretty interesting.
I just bumped the camera.
Kim's
All
taking.
right.
Yeah.
All
Kim,
right.
thanks for coming.
Yeah, I have a
Thanks,
date
guys.
with Charlotte and
Aw.
Santa Claus.
Yay.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for coming, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, Kim.
Bye, Kim.
Kim,
Merry Christmas.
have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
We have
Go right where you were. So Pat, you want to finish up with that? I'm sorry.
That was
The
really
post
just it. I
office,
just
yeah.
thought
Post
it was,
office
I
is
just
open.
thought
What-
it was pretty awesome.
It is awesome.
That they were going to be open. This is downtown. I don't know about any other locations, but
So I got some things. What's interesting to me, and it's kind of shady, I think. You know how Amazon? I'm a huge Amazon guy. I love Amazon, but the Prime is supposed to have guaranteed 2-day delivery, and if it's
Yep.
not guaranteed, they usually tell you when. They usually tell you when it's gonna be delivered. So you know. Well, this past week, they were so backed up that the deliveries were like at least like 7 to 9 days out on a lot of items, and I think you have to be aware if you're buying Christmas presents starting now that you know, and if you're depending on those Christmas
You run the
presents,
risk of not
you're
getting
running
them.
the risk
Yeah.
of not getting them. So you might want to just think twice about buying on Amazon and do
We had-
business
I-
locally.
I
Shop
had
locally.
kind
I was
of,
just
Susan
gonna
is
say
saying hello
Yeah.
to Kathy and Jeff. So hello,
Kathy
Susan.
and
We're
Jeff.
glad you're on board here.
Oh, Susan Casey Lipset.
Yeah.
Ah.
Where in the world is Susan Casey Lipson?
Yeah.
Where
as far as I
in
know,
the
she's
world?
Where
Uh,
are
she
you?
in
Atlanta,
Atlanta?
probably.
Probably in Atlanta.
You never
or
know though. She's
vicinity.
worldwide.
You don't know.
That's right.
You
Exactly.
don't know. But we did have an interesting
Lipstick
Amazon
worldwide.
experience this week. We had I had ordered a new laptop,
Oh,
which arrived on time within 2 days,
nice.
like it was supposed to.
But-
But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the right model. The box said one thing and the inside was something
Oh,
different.
Jesus.
Wow.
So I called Amazon and they very nicely arranged for it to be returned. Pack it up, take it down to the UPS, return it. Okay, fine. And a new one was going to come on Saturday. Quick. I was like, oh, great. Thank you. So they sent me the new one, got the new one, opened the new one up, and the first thing on the screen is no bootable devices found.
No what?
Bootable devices.
So error, big
So
error.
big,
message.
big fat nasty error. So I called. I looked up to see if it was something simple, and it wasn't something I wanted to get into the very first time I opened up a brand new laptop. Called Amazon again and said, I think I better return this. It's this is like I'm getting bad juju from this whole purchase, and they said, oh, well, let me connect you with Dell. I said, well, it's easier to have you connect me than me trying to connect myself. So they did. I spoke with Dell, and Dell said, oh, the warranty on here, we'll have to charge you money to fix this. And I said, no,
It's
I'm
brand
not
new.
paying brand
Yeah.
new. I'm not paying it. And so back to back to Amazon, and Amazon accepted it, and it's on its way back. 2 laptops, two days in a row, or within a week, within
Wow.
4 days.
Yeah.
But they were very good about it.
They're good about the returns,
They
but
were very
it's,
good.
it's just
1-800 Best Buy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
so
so Best Buy, I bought something for the podcast on Best Buy. I was in the store. They said we don't have it here, but I can get it overnight to you. You just have to pay. I pay. It's supposed to be there the next day. I get a notification that they're having a shipping problem, and the new estimated date of arrival would be from a week from that date to December 20th, and this is about 3 weeks ago. So like up to a month. I says, well, I want a refund. They says we can't give you a refund. You have to return it in the store. I said, well, I had told you in the store that this is something I needed for tomorrow, and I would have gone someplace else and bought it. Like there was, and I was speaking to someone in a foreign country that like there was just nowhere to go with this to escalate the thing.
The problem is the economy's doing too well. I can't wait for a recession because you're not going to have to wait around for shipments during the recession.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how
There you go.
Chris
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
puts things into
So
perspective.
speaking of like these big companies, I know this wasn't one of my podcast topics, but I was gonna add to it after I sent you my topics. But when we make the move in January, I'm cutting the cord.
You decided.
you are.
I've
So
decided to cut
your
the
son
cord.
did. Your son cut the
My
cord.
son Brendan cut the cord, and if I didn't know what cut the cord meant, I can see from Ralph's face he doesn't know.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm
You're
not.
talking about your
Charlene's
cable.
not having a baby. I'm not gonna cut the
Talk
cord.
about the cable.
The cable. I'm done with Comcast,
Ugh.
Xfinity. I did some research and I'm gonna go with YouTube TV.
YouTube TV has all the local sports channels. I
Has
know.
Nesson.
Right.
Has Nesson.
Right. Which is big,
There's a website you can go to,
and it tells you all the different. things.
cutthecord.com,
Right.
and they do an outstanding job for those
Explaining.
of you who are interested in exploring. They do a great comparison of YouTube TV versus Hulu.
So you need Wi-Fi.
You need Wi-Fi, so
And-
I'm gonna have to go with. I'll stay with Comcast
For the Wi-Fi.
$50.
So now you really want upgraded because they have different levels of how much the throughput is. You know,
Exactly.
the thing. So $50 gets you a super high speed
It gets you enough
For the
for
number of
that stuff to
devices
run.
that
for the number of
Perfectly.
units that you're gonna have running in the
Yes.
house? Okay, so $50 for that. YouTube TV is how much?
$50.
50. So you're at 100.
Right.
Netflix,
I'm not gonna get Netflix.
not Netflix. Okay,
I have
you have Amazon Prime. That's
because
already
it's-
included, so we're
that's
not gonna
already
count that cost.
Right.
Hulu.
I might get Well, no, it's either Hulu or YouTube TV.
Okay.
They-
Oh,
they
right.
basically
Yeah,
do
because
the
you already
same
have.
thing.
Yeah, you already have that.
Yeah.
So you're at 100. You're at 110.
Yeah, 110, and I'm paying $250 now.
Well, if you're paying $250, you haven't renegotiated your contract because I pay $189 and I have stuff. You know,
And that's
they-
all in.
That's all in.
Yeah, but I get NFL Red Zone. You have the Red Zone?
No.
Yeah, I mean I get other
Yeah.
shit.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so.
It is
This is
ridiculous.
going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I want you to really detailed
Yeah.
keep track of the cost.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, and
Patrick-
we'll do updates.
Patrick McNally is saying that he cut the cord and they have YouTube TV and I watch all the sports.
Yeah, that's
good.
I
awesome.
assume he's
That's good.
local, I don't know.
Ask him what else he added to YouTube TV,
Okay.
or I could ask him what else did you add to YouTube TV to make it an even better experience, TV viewing experience.
Came around, I'm sitting in Kim's chair. I
Yeah.
feel like it's the Academy Awards and you
There
fill
you
in the
go.
seats when they go to the bathroom or something. You know, that type of thing. This is what I was doing last week when you guys weren't here, boys.
Really?
Filling
Fill
the
the
seats.
seats.
I don't
Try
believe
it.
it.
Chris, what
Yeah.
is this topic about? Email unsubscribe.
So as we're nearing the end of the year, I figured I would take some time and unsubscribe to all the shit mail that I get. So some make it very easy. Some companies make it very easy. When you click, there's an unsubscribe.
Usually in
link.
small letters down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually small letters down the bottom. Some force you to log back into your account, and I can never remember what the login is. And then Apple sometimes up top says unsubscribe, and you can click
wow.
that. But yeah, I mean, I think
So
it's
how
a
many
great
have you
time
done
of the
already?
year.
How
What's
many
that?
have you done already?
Oh, it's been a 2-week effort so far. Where whenever I get this unwanted email,
Yeah.
I make every effort. And the thing is, they claim it takes 10 days
To go flush through the system.
to flush through the system. So some companies I'm still getting their emails, and I'm like,
It's interesting because I did the same thing last year that you're doing now, and I haven't done it this year because I like to get those for certain companies, like like I'll be traveling soon, so I like to get all the airline ones because the airline ones are brutal if you're not planning to go anywhere because they do alert you of some decent deals. Menu binds. There's certain ones where I know I'm going to be doing a little bit of shopping this time of year for Christmas.
yeah,
And then after
Just a little bit.
after that.
Kate doesn't want to hear that.
Oh yeah, Kate and I have an arrangement right now, so we're good. We're
A
good.
shopping arrangement.
What kind of an arrangement?
Wait, hey now.
Chris's ears perked right up when he said
Not
that.
that kind of arrangement, you sick
Prenup?
monkeys.
What'd you say? Prenup?
Not that kind of arrangement.
So Patrick responded that he has Netflix, Amazon Prime, and for work he has high speed, and he puts it in quote internet.
And what's his
Okay.
total?
Oh, I don't.
Ask him. Okay, so Patrick, we'd like to know.
$249.99. He saves a penny.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear what it is.
It's
Sign me up now.
Just think about it. You can buy a car for what it costs.
Yeah.
People spend on cable. TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's but I mean,
James said the same thing because James cut the cord when we were at Minglewood, and the same exact point he made, Ralph. He goes, "That I was paying a car payment for all the money he was sending over to Comcast."
yeah, the new
$3,000 a year.
the new
just for
TVs, the
cable.
new smart TVs, and TVs that we had this conversation with Jimmy that
You mean Ed McMahon?
Ed McMahon that like TVs are so cheap nowadays, and,
Oh, yeah.
they all have these smart features where you can just stream just about anything right through them using the
Yeah.
internet. They've made it even not very technically dummy proof, yeah, to be able to figure this
I
out.
still can't figure it out.
Chris, what is this street hockey rink at Stage Fort you're talking about?
I don't know much about it. I didn't click on the link that Mom's Kitchen's son. I think his name is Dave. No,
I think it is. I think it's Dave.
Yeah,
Jr.
Dave.
yeah. So we were bowling Thursday night.
he's
Dave
such a
came
great
up to
kid.
me and said, "Can Good Morning Gloucester pimp out this fundraiser we got going on?" They got approval. I guess there's an old basketball court at Stage Fort Park that was falling apart, and this group got approval for the city to put
top.
a street hockey rink there, an outdoor street hockey rink.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Would you call it a rink? It wouldn't be a rink.
Yeah.
A street hockey
Yeah.
facility.
Court,
Or,
whatever.
The street
Yeah.
hockey rink.
and they need $300,000 to build it, and I guess the city already put up. I think it was like 100,000.
Wow.
And some other companies may be
Sponsorships.
involved.
I bet they'll have
already sponsored.
sponsorships around the if they have boards. I don't know if they'll have boards because that could be dangerous.
No, they'll have boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep it in.
But they're not going to
'cause this
check.
would be
You don't check
professional.
in street hockey. You
Right.
just-
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's right to the right of is the basketball courts are just to the right of the dog park?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
they have leagues there. Because on the
We've
way
seen
home,
them playing,
on the way home, we cut through
Basketball or street
Street
hockey?
hockey.
street hockey
Oh,
on
okay.
there.
Really?
So
They're
they're already
currently
playing
there.
there.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And boy, I mean, you're riding through, you see all the cars and parking, and you're going, and they put the lights on. There's lights on that court,
Yeah.
so you can see it, and boy, they got a lot of people. It looks really interesting.
That's cool.
I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
So they got a GoFundMe page, and I think
Did you give
I
me the
sent
link?
you the link. I thought I sent you the link.
Okay, I'll find it. I'll
Um,
include it in the show notes.
But he wanted us to do a shout out for any companies out there that
Sponsorships.
are interested in sponsorships, even any of us who are interested in making a donation. Every little amount helps.
Well, we'll definitely put the link in there and people can figure it out.
I told him GMG, put GMG down for 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
The GMG outdoor street hockey facility.
I'll tell you, Ralph DiGiorgio is a very generous sponsor.
Where is he anyway?
I think we
He on
need to put.
vacation
We'll
still.
put a kissing booth up with you two.
DM
You bring
There
your,
you go.
your
DM
parrot,
Civil.
your
DM Civil.
sweatshirt. You can bring your outfit, and you guys set up.
So you guys had dog owners. This is one of Chris's topics, of course. Because
We're talking about poop again.
get the thing going. Get ready. How does a dog decide where it's gonna poop?
Yeah, and well, let me just explain why, because the last couple times I've taken my dog out to poop, he goes through, both of them go through this routine of sniffing, and then finally it's like, yeah, bingo,
That's
I found
the
a spot,
That's
and
the
then
spot.
that's where they drop it. So I'm trying to figure
Come to
out
Rocky
if
Neck.
anybody knows
dog
why a
chooses-
dog picks the spot that
That's
they
a good
poop
question.
at.
I don't
Poop in.
know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Our dog always, and a lot of the dogs, we call it feces field, and the entrance to Rocky Neck, they run there, and that's where they want to go consistently. They always go there and they poop.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
Okay. Because dogs and cats and all other animals are free to roam around everywhere.
Yeah.
So they poop anywhere they want, right?
Right.
Or pee or whatever.
Right.
So eventually there are areas that become this pee
Hot
and poop
spots.
hot spots, right?
Yeah.
So just like you, Chris, when you wake up in the morning, you want to take a poop, you want a nice fresh bowl, you flush, you have a nice fresh bowl. They're looking for a nice fresh spot.
So
to
that
pee and
is the
poop.
question.
That's
So-
my theory.
So it's a spot that
Is
Hasn't been
it
shit.
hasn't been tainted.
hasn't been tainted. Okay.
That's the theory.
All right.
That's the Ralph theory on dog
I,
There you
poop.
go.
I like that. I didn't know if it was an area that hadn't been tainted or was already tainted. And there
Right.
That's
Well,
what I
the
was thinking.
predominant
Well, I
Right.
think when they
Or
they do they want to
there's-
mark their territory too when they
Right.
do
Yeah.
when they do
The
you know,
pee.
yeah they do. But I
Yeah,
think
they-
in the one with respect to pooping, I think they want a fresh bowl.
All right.
So
That's
when
good.
when your dog pooped in Joey's house,
He was looking for a fresh spot.
There you go.
that nobody else is.
That no one,
Yeah.
or that someone else has
Oh,
pooped in.
Yes.
So Joe, I think Joe
Just
is
like this
is
spot back
one-
here behind me.
one of his.
Oh no!
Yeah, all those brown spots are from where dog
In the
Chris's
brown
dog.
spots right here.
Dog. I just
Where-
take my breakfast off that.
Where I eat. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry, Joe cleaned it.
Update on the cutting the cord. Patrick says he saves about $100 a month.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what the typical savings is.
That's good.
For
And
cutting the
the
cord.
quality is solid, rock solid.
he's all the additional comment he makes is also my smart TV, even the newest one, doesn't support Hulu anymore, but I pay for it because my kids use it on their devices.
Ah, cool. Thanks for that input,
There
Patrick.
you go.
I have
There
a-
you go.
So I have an issue. I'm gonna call it an issue. I'm really upset that like I spent money for really good TVs, right?
Yeah.
And I put it on to watch the hockey game or the basketball game, and it's nowhere near like you know how they say you need the QHD and the 4K. The television stations are not broadcasting. It's like they're broadcasting
Not
in
yet.
1080,
Right.
which is like a quarter of the signal to 4K. And people go out and they spend crazy amounts of money to get these 4K TVs that this like maybe 2% of the content that's streaming is in that kind of quality. Like when I look at when I think in Best Buy, these places where you buy televisions, their feed is like a direct from like a Blu-ray player. Like you're seeing every single pixel filled up.
Yeah.
But so you buy that television based on that. You may spend a couple grand. Then you get the television home, and it's just like kind of like flat and blurry unless you're connecting again to like a Blu-ray or something like that.
Well, I think
It's kind of a
Plus,
scam.
there's the
like
signal
HD.
lot drop too. That's the cable isn't perfect.
No, I know, but I
But
mean,
it was
you're
like
paying for all this.
HD. I mean, HD. All the TVs came out supporting HD.
But there's
And
there's
it
four
took a
different
while.
levels of HD, just so you know.
Yeah.
720
20
is
that was-
considered HD. 1080 is another level of HD.
Higher
Is then and there's Super HD, Quad HD, all this different
Right.
stuff.
But the TVs are ahead of
the technology.
the technology, the
cable.
broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yes, they
But
are.
you'd be better off like I don't know. It's
Anyway.
kind of ridiculous.
No, but your TV
Now
will be
Joe's
ready.
day is ruined. I just want to let you know. He's upset now. He's going to be looking at little things on the TV.
I
watching
just want it to
football.
look nice.
I just wanted to look nice.
9:51. We started.
Hour and 6 minutes.
Hour and 6 minutes. I
Hour
just
6
wanted to know. Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome,
Cake.
Joe.
Cake versus child.
Cake versus Jack. Yeah, so this was an interesting one, and I unfortunately didn't keep the text. So it was a survey done, I forget where, it might have been here in the United States, where parents were surveyed on are they more likely to drive safely with a cake in the back seat or a child
I
in
heard
the
about
back
this.
seat?
I heard
And
about
like
this.
90% said
With the
they
cake.
drive
Cake.
more safely with a cake
Yes.
in the back seat.
That was
We've had this.
awesome.
We've had this conversation
Have
that
you?
the women in my life.
Well, I didn't just say
Well,
women.
I'm
Joe.
gonna
This was
say
all
this.
races.
I'm gonna say women in particular. When it's the holidays, and they make something,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it's in a pan, it's completely flat
We
pan,
have had this conversation.
and you may be the passenger, and they say, I want you to hold on to this on your lap. And he's saying, we're driving 45 minutes. We'll put it in the back.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the floor of the back seat. It's perfectly flat. It's not going to be any more flat than it's going to be on my lap.
Right.
And I'm going to be uncomfortable with this thing on my lap for 45 minutes. Let's just put the... And they get very disgruntled
Yeah.
if you don't keep the thing on your lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the kids can roam free in the back seat. They don't give two shits. But that souffle better sit on your lap.
Why, you make souffle, Joe?
Souffle.
You actually make a souffle and drive 45 minutes with a souffle on
There you
you?
go.
The souffle on your lap for 45 minutes isn't going to taste very good.
I
likes-
had that experience yesterday with this guy. I had to pick up a big cake from somewhere to bring to a party last night, and all he had to do was just show up to pick me up. And I'm standing on the corner with this thing, and he's driving around, and I'm like, "Where have you been? Like, open the door." And then we get in the car, and then became defensive
Where have you
driving.
been?
I'm holding
Open the
this
door.
big cake. I'm trying to get to this place, and he's, whatever.
See? It's a
It
women
was
thing.
awful. And I'm like,
This is the season!
Now, if that was a child, right? Go ahead, no problem.
Yeah.
It's the cake.
Is it?
No,
This
this
is
is-
the
This
cake.
is why when you bring things to people's house, just make sure it's in a bottle.
no, I had the
It's a lot
dessert.
easier.
There you go.
But that's like, observing parents with small children. that, you know, if the child has a friend over and they are eating cereal and they knock the bowl over and the cereal and the milk go everywhere, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. But if the kid's friend wasn't there and it was their actual child who spilled the cereal,
Forget it.
they go freaking nuts. Holy
Forget
shit!
it.
They smack the kid. The kid's bleeding, broken nose.
They smack the kids.
Slam the brakes so the kid flies up.
Anyway.
Hero.
Oh,
I'm not slamming brakes, but I'm riding the kids all the time in the car, and they have their friends over, and sometimes they're goofing around too much, or they're falling asleep or whatever, and their heads by the window. I'll go in the rumble strips I'll go
Oh,
over there.
nice. I would jam on the brakes.
and just wake them up.
I
And
was gonna
sling
say,
their
don't make
head
me
over
stop this car.
Yeah.
I've done that.
D Noble is chiming in to say, keep it in your lap and keep 2 hands on that MF. I don't know what MF could possibly mean.
See, there you go. Another one heard from. All right, this is going to be the last segment we're going to talk
Thank
about.
God.
The Patriots. The Patriots are giving 10.5 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you want the
Patriots,
points or do you want the Patriots?
I don't know.
Go ahead,
this
Ralph.
team is just scaring the living shit out of me. What is going on? You know, 2 weeks ago, I mean, when they were 2 weeks ago, they were 10-1, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Everybody was panicking. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. The Patriots are 10-1. They're still 10-1, and we're still freaking out. But there's something going on there. It's just not in the norm. I know the offensive line is suffering. Brady doesn't have enough time to get the ball out of his hands. You know, he doesn't move as fast as he used to, but still, the offensive line's a problem. His receivers, he doesn't have a receiving core. I don't even know if Edelman's playing today. He was questionable.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he's
is playing
playing,
today.
yeah.
I thought he would. But yeah, we need. I think we need to get some more receivers. I just want to reach out personally to Bob Kraft and say, listen, swallow your pride and bring
him
back Antonio Brown. Okay, just for a couple games. Let's see what happens. What the hell?
Can you still bring
We
him
need
back?
someone-
Can you bring him back at this point of the season?
I don't know if
I
there
think
was a
they
deadline.
can.
No, the deadline was November 30th.
No, that was
Wasn't
for
it?
Gronk.
Oh,
That was for Gronk. But Brady needs a deep receiver.
I'll suit up if they want me to.
Yeah.
Well, they could use your quickness.
I go deep.
That's not what I heard. That's not what Charlene
Oh, I'm
says.
talking football.
That's not what Charlene
Jesus
said.
Christ.
Quick!
Jeff, so wait, you didn't say your pick. Do you want the points or you want the Patriots?
I'm gonna take the points.
So you're going Cincinnati plus 10.5. Jeff.
I'm going with the Patriots. Yes, they do need some work on the offense. They need to get somebody's got to get open and catch the ball. Once Edelman, people are double teamed and there's no one open. In the defense, they've been doing unbelievable, but
That's the reason they're 10. They have 10
exactly.
wins.
The defense keeps going the way they're going, especially against Cincinnati. This could, build them back up. But I'm definitely Pats winning this game.
There you go.
Pats.
So you're
No
taking
points. Yeah, 100%,
Pats,
yeah.
Pats minus 10.5.
Well, the Pats have all of Cincinnati's defensive plays since they videotaped last
That's
week.
right.
So I'm betting the house on the Pats. I
There
think
you
the
go.
Pats are going to blow them away.
Pat.
Do you get points on your credit card?
Ah!
And your insurance, car insurance.
15 minutes.
Pats up. Jimmy, what do you got?
I tell you, she brings books when we go to games.
That's all
We
right.
sit there. Definitely the Pats because the score is going to be 14-0. Cincinnati is in the scare mode. They are 1-60 or something.
1-11.
And I'm talking about over the last 3 years too.
So, Jim, what you're saying is defense is going to score 14 points?
Pats 14.
Special teams.
Okay.
Special teams and defense are going
I'm
to score
going.
14 points.
I'm taking the Pats, giving the points, and I think it's going to be a rout. I think this is going to be a Patriots a pissed off game after all the talk about the videotaping. I think this is a bulletin board game with all the local sport writers saying that they suck
Against
think-
Cincinnati.
against
They
Cincinnati.
couldn't have done that against Baltimore.
Well, I think Baltimore's the best team in the league.
Absolutely.
I think the Patriots are this. I think the Patriots are every bit as good as Kansas City. Not as good as Baltimore, but I do think I think the Patriots are the best, are the second best team in the AFC, and I think I think Buffalo.
I
is a
think
good team, too.
I don't disagree with you. I
disagree.
believe if the Patriots get their act together, they can beat Baltimore in the AFC Championship.
Anything's possible. So, but I think it's ridiculous.
They'll be prepared this time.
I think it's ridiculous that what is our record? 10-3. What are we right now?
Yeah.
I think any other team in the entire league that's 10-3, they're throwing, they're celebrating every single day. Our fan base is so spoiled. At 10-3, the sky is falling like I've never heard. I've never
that's
seen
what I was just
anything.
saying.
Because we look like the worst 10-3 team ever in the NFL.
Well, we are the worst
That's
10-3 team.
I
mean,
That's
it's
why.
well, you got to remember the beginning of the season.
I
the
don't see how you
Patriots-
say that. You're acting like the only thing that
No.
counts is offense. Defense is half of your team.
I don't
Before
think the
Joe
defense
loses
is
his head, okay, you got to remember the Patriots. The beginning of the season for the Patriots, they did not have much competition until they started playing the Baltimores, the Kansas City Chiefs, and all that sort of stuff. So you got to remember that until the Patriots started really playing strong opponents, it was easy.
They
So
didn't get blown out by Baltimore's blown.
And they did have a receiving
Baltimore's
core.
blowing out teams by 20 and 30 points. They hung with Baltimore. Kansas City is a great team.
They should have beat
They
Kansas
should have
City.
beat Kansas City. They got robbed in that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I'm pretty.
Especially
I'm not saying that.
Buffalo would have beat Baltimore if they had a good coach.
Yeah.
It's first down and they had a half a yard
Yeah.
and he's trying to go off tackle.
Yeah, yeah,
He should have just
And
rammed it
that
down
was
the
a
middle.
bad play.
I think
And that would have been the game.
I think Buffalo is the sneakiest good team in the league right now.
I
No
think
one's
so,
giving
too.
them any credit.
No, they're a sleeper.
Yeah.
But you can't. This team out of any team in the NFL, you cannot ever count the Patriots out. You know no team in history comes back like the Patriots. I'm not saying they're definitely going to, but I'm saying you can't count them out. I have my mixed emotions, but I think significant changes need to be made on the offense in order for Brady to be able to get back to the big game again. And that
All
was
right.
getting
This is
the
the
receiving.
this is the last question, and I just want a one sentence reply.
Where is my son Michael when we need him? He's the guy we need on this show. He is the guy.
One sentence reply. Is Brady playing for the Patriots next year, or is he playing for a different team, or is he retiring?
Well, the stories are out there. His house is for sale. He's looking around. He's just gave up
Best buddies.
his spot on Best Buddies as the.
Whatever.
Whatever
Chair,
he's-
whatever.
You're going on
he's-
record. Go ahead.
So Brady is setting up for something, and I think it's going to depend on what the outcome of this season brings.
Can you, based on the knowledge that you have right now, is he playing on the Patriots next year? Is he retiring, or is he on a different team?
I would find it very hard to believe.
Fucking
Well,
Christ.
wait a minute. I'm not answering the question the way you're asking the question. I'm saying
that's the
that
question. Those
I
are the
find it very
parameters.
hard to believe that Tom Brady would go play for anyone else. So if Tom Brady decides to stop playing football, he's going to stop playing football.
So next year, do you think he stops playing football?
That I don't know. It's going to determine what happens at the end of the
Okay,
season.
fine. I'll give you the
I think
parameters.
he sticks around for
Yeah.
another year.
Same,
Okay.
same.
You
He's
say the same.
sticking.
Fox broadcaster.
Oh,
Stephen Reed says gone.
really?
Gone.
I say he retires after the season.
Too tired.
Let me ask you the whole.
Hit
Whoa,
20
time
times.
out. Patriots get into the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Of course.
It is a possibility, right?
Yeah.
They win the
Okay.
Super Bowl, he's retired.
They
Either
have to go through Baltimore to get to the Super Bowl. If they beat Baltimore, whether they win or lose the Super Bowl, forget the Super Bowl. If they win or lose, I don't care if they lose 40-0 in the Super Bowl. But if they beat Baltimore in the AFC Championship, which there's a possibility,
Of course. Yep.
does Brady retire?
At the end of the season, because he'll have seven Super Bowls.
No.
No one's going to catch him, and I think he's proved everything he has to prove.
I said forget the Super Bowl. My question
I
was,
told you.
if
And I
they
gave you
beat
my answer.
Baltimore in the AFC
I gave you my
Championship,
answer. I gave you my answer. I think he's done.
You
after
think
the
he's
season,
done?
no matter what
I
happens.
disagree.
Well, there you go. So there's your answer. You think
I
he's going to
say
play next year?
I think if they win in the AFC Championship, I definitely think he's coming back.
So your parameter is if they don't win in the AFC Championship,
Hence, when I said,
He's going
let's
to
see what
Dallas.
happens at the end of the season.
he just made it so that no matter what happens, he can stay. He can go back and say that was
Yeah,
the thing.
I'm
Yeah.
closing out.
Isn't it?
The music's
There
playing.
you go.
Bigfoot says retiring, and Stephen Reed says other team.
There you go.
Oh, Stephen Reed.
That's GloucesterCast.
Stephen Reed, don't worry, it's not going to affect our vacation plan.
That's GloucesterCast 370. Oh, I have to change. I have to stop it.
Ah.
Don't touch anything.
Stephanie Tedger just texted
We
me.
are out.
15 years, I was close.
I'll finish it from there.
Yeah.
And